Hello, my name is Chef Colin Roche, and welcome to another episode of Wicked Easy Cooking, the show that takes sometimes difficult and complicated recipes and breaks them down to make them much more easier to do for anybody who wants to attempt it. Nothing to be scared about here. And in the future, if you want to see other episodes, or you have ideas or suggestions, what you'd like to see, please put them in the comments section, and I'll do my best to get them in another video. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love it if you do that as well. So today's recipe is going to be a classic fried shrimp, and I'm going to make a homemade tartar sauce to go with it. So let's get started. Okay, classic fried shrimp with tartar sauce. I have the recipe here, which I will post at the end of the video if you want to try it yourself. Very, very simple. You have some shrimp, a couple pounds of fresh shrimp. We've got flour, we've got some egg wash, and we've got breadcrumbs. So we're going to season up, and that's it. And we're going to put it into our deep fryer. So let's start with the shrimp first. You know, I like to use fresh shrimp if we can, and I also like to use wild shrimp. These happen to be from Key West, so they're great, but they were previously frozen. If you do use frozen shrimp, not a problem. Just make sure you pat them dry because they will be wet once they've thawed. Now, you can buy them P&D, which means peeled and deveined like this one is. I did this myself. It's very easy to do. See, this is how the shrimp would normally come. It has shells on it. Peel the shells off of it. Very easy to do. Put that into a little plate and save them. Now, some people leave this little end on it, this little tail, and fry it that way. I don't like to do that because then it gets coated in the breading, and I don't really want to chew on that. But if I was making baked stuffed shrimp or maybe shrimp scampi with a garlic sauce, I may leave that on there. But for our application, we're just going to pinch that right off. Now, don't throw away your shells. These have a lot of flavor and a lot of essence. Put them in a little baggie, throw them in the freezer. Then you can take them out, boil them up with a little bit of water, and make like a shrimp stock. That is great to put into a chowder, make a sauce for something, shrimp bisque, wonderful. So save those shells. Now we got to devein them, which is basically the intestinal tract. So we take a little knife, cut down the back side of them, and open it up. Oftentimes they're clear, which is fine. You don't need to do that. So other times you'll find like a little black line in there. It's mostly filled with sand, grit, which is what the shrimp eat, the little planktons. Like this one. This one actually has one here. So we just peel it up like that and rip it off. See that little black line? That's its intestinal tract. Won't hurt you to eat it. It's just unsightly and you don't want to see that. So we clean those up. That's called peeled and deveined. So I have most of mine already done here, and now we just take our shrimp, nice and dry, put those in the flour. Okay, this is to dry the shrimp off so the egg wash will adhere to it. Bang off any excess. Then it goes into our egg wash. Get it coated well. This is going to be the glue that our breadcrumbs are going to stick to. So we want to drain it. Okay, and then it goes right into our breadcrumbs. In this case, I've used panko breadcrumbs. All right, these are a Japanese style breadcrumb that's very coarse, makes it very crispy. But you could use Italian breadcrumbs. Right? They're seasoned or not. These breadcrumbs weren't seasoned, so you'll see in the recipe, I told you to add some salt and some black pepper to it. But you could add garlic powder. If you want it to be coconut shrimp, you could add shredded coconut in here. You could add any seasoning you want, maybe a little Cajun seasoning if you wanted some spice. It's totally up to you. And once your shrimp is like that, put it on a plate and then into the fryer. So let's finish this up, and then I'm going to show you how I fry them, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, we've got our first batch of shrimp all breaded. Let's get it into the oil and get it frying so then I can go on to my tartar sauce. Now, if you're going to use oil, you want to fry it about, oil in a pan, you want to keep it about 350 degrees. You don't want it too hot because the outside will brown before the shrimp cooks. You don't want it too low, it's going to absorb oil. So a pan is fine. Fill it up with some oil like a saute pan. Put it in there, just regulate your heat. Or if you can, get yourself a tabletop deep fryer. I have one back here, controls the heat, keeps the oil inside. It has a lid with a vent in it so it doesn't fill your house with the oil and all of the smells. It's about $60 on Amazon. You could buy it. Most stores will carry it as well. I'll put a little description down in the comment section if you want to look into it yourself, but it's great if you're going to be doing a lot of deep fryer. So let's put those in, and then I'm going to make the tartar sauce. Now we're going to make a quick tartar sauce, which is wonderful for these fried shrimp. It's also great with, fish and chips, any other type of seafood that you want, scallops, calamari. Some people like cocktail sauce, which is fine too. It's easy to make that. Chili sauce with some horseradish and Worcestershire and some seasoning. I'm gonna make a quick one. So as you'll see in the recipe here, you got about a cup of mayonnaise. And it says put in some pickle relish. If you don't have relish, you can use pickles, which is what I'm gonna do. You can use sweet pickles or sweet relish, or sour pickles, sour relish, whatever you feel comfortable with. We got a little bit of yellow mustard to put in. I'm gonna put some fresh lemon juice in there. And then in here it says optional. I like chopped parsley, add some color, and I'm gonna add some capers, which I'll talk about. And this makes it into more of a remoulade, kind of a French one. And then of course our salt and pepper for seasoning. Some people like to put dill in it, fresh dill or dried dill, so we can add a little bit of that too. It's totally optional. So first starting out with our pickles. These are the stackers here. This is a sour pickle. Whatever one you'd like, we're just going to cube that up kind of small, make it into relish. That's all relish is chopped up, pickles. So I make nice little dices here. And add that into our mayonnaise. All right, put that in. Or as I mentioned, relish. And if you like it a little bit more sour, add more than what the recipe calls for. That's always your option. So now I'm going to put in the yellow mustard. Start mixing that around a little bit. Okay. We go. Lemons, fresh lemon is key. You see when you first get them, they're really, really, really hard. So what you want to do is roll them. You can see this one I already did. Look at how soft that is. It's really squishy because I've rolled it. It's going to make it easier for you to juice. I'm going to juice into this little bowl here because I don't want to get any seeds in there. So once I juice into that, I can use a fork to pull out any seeds, and then that's going to go right into my tartar sauce. I add in my parsley to add some color. I like capers. Capers are nothing more than an unripened bud of a Mediterranean shrub. They're like little flowers, haven't opened up yet. There's different sizes. Usually it's packed in vinegar, so give it a rinse. Sometimes it comes dry in salt. Same thing, rinse it. Add in as many as you like. I think it adds a nice flavor. A little bit of pepper. I'm not going to put any salt because there's plenty of salt in those capers, but I will add a little touch of dill. I think that's a nice contrast. And then we're going to stir that all up. And that's it. Put that in the fridge. It'll last a week. Your refrigerator, use it fresh. It's easy to make. What'd that take? A minute? Now I'm just going to do a little taste test. Capers really add to it. I'm going to add a little pepper more. Okay. Got it. Let's get the shrimp and plate them up. Okay, we removed our shrimp from our deep fryer. You see the golden color there to it, kind of a dark color. It's crispy. Shrimp look nice and plump. I already put my tartar sauce on here. We'll put a few shrimp around the plate. You could do a basket if you'd like. Maybe put it on a cloth, whatever. You notice I put it on absorbent paper first, just to get any oil off the surface of it. And that would be it. Maybe a little lemon twist on the side, maybe a sprig of parsley for color. That's all you have. Now these are going to be super hot, so I got to be careful here. But I will dip it into my tartar sauce to cool it down. Very good. I hope you try this at home. Please do. And keep an eye out for future episodes. Like I said, make sure you like this video if you do, subscribe, and I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye now.